this video, we're going to continue to talk about 2D in Maya. So in the previous video, we used the different curves tools to create some curves and to edit those. We also talked about using grids and snaps, and also how to create more planes and use them as work planes. And we basically started to talk about 2D creation. Now, also we can import from other software like AutoCAD and Illustrator. So if we need to do architecture, we probably import from AutoCAD. In that case, we need SVG. If we need to do graphic design, we can import directly in the Adobe Illustrator native format. So you can see here, I can just click and drag and drop from the folder an Illustrator file, and that's going to give me all those shapes that I have created, not here in Maya, but using Illustrator. So we find a lot of tools in Maya, but if we need to do something really specific for graphic design, I think that Adobe Illustrator is better. It's gonna have a lot of additional features and tools for 2D drawing and creating vector graphics. And if you want to use CAD, I think that the original DWG file is not supported. I think that you should use the SVG or the APS or other formats, because the, let's say, original and native AutoCAD file shouldn't work. But you can always check the forums and see if there is some additional solution for that. You can also write your comments, suggestions, or tips for other users. But I tried with the WG and the XF, and it's giving me this unrecognized file type. Now, this could be an issue also concerning the version that I'm using of Maya. So I found this website here. It's called dxfconverter.org, and here you can just select a DXF file that you probably produce using AutoCAD or another CAD application, and you can try to convert that into an SVG, which is going to be scalable vector graphics, and you should then be able to import it into Maya, or perhaps try some other format like PDF, or you can also insert an image. I'm going to show you how you can insert a simple image and then convert that into vectors. So if you go there, you can see that we can create from the create menu an image plane, and here we have some options, but don't worry about those now. Just make sure that you're maintaining the aspect ratio of the image. That's gonna mean that the image is not gonna be distorted. So I'm gonna say apply and close. And there in the right side, I can see, well, I see the image there, but there's no image yet. I need to insert it right here in that image name spot. I can click on the folder, navigate through my computer using the up arrow here, and finding the image that I want. And in this case, it's a project. It's an architectural project. So if I place that, you can see that I am in the wrong view, because I see this from the top and it's looking just like a simple plane on the top. So I need to change here the orientation or the rotation or something that is gonna make me see this in the top view, because usually when you create architecture, you should be on the top view. If you create graphic design, you can be in other vertical views like front view or side view. So I'm just gonna rotate this just like that. So I'm gonna rotate it approximately and then fix the rotation value using the channel box or the rotate parameter right here in the attribute editor. So you can do that in many ways usually. And there we go. So I have my plan view of my architecture of an apartment. You can do this with a house, with an apartment, with whatever. And I'm gonna move it into some part which is not already occupied by some other curves, and there you go. So if you want, you can use an image. Now, vector graphics, it's better because you already have the shape there. You don't need to do anything, just proceed into the 3D model creation. But when you have an image, you cannot just go there and extrude pixels. You need to convert those pixels into vector graphics, or basically curves in Maya. So we're going to get back to curves, and we're going to see how we can like vectorize an image, or sometimes this process is called tracing, to trace all the shapes that you need. And this is just a perfect example because we need this. For example, if we want to extrude those walls, we need to have a shape that we can extrude. We cannot extrude pixels. So I'm going to select the curve tool here, interpolation curve, linear, so I can create straight edges. I'm not doing product design here, I'm doing architecture, so I just need straight corners and straight walls. Now I just need to know where to start. Let's say that I want to start from here, and by zooming a lot I can see the pixels, so I need to figure out kind of an average position for the beginning of this wall. Could be there. This is just an approximation, of course. So each time you're gonna recreate something, it's gonna add some approximation to it. So I'm trying to guess here where the vertices will be. So I can place that right there, and again move with the navigation tools using the scroll wheel. Try to be more precise, or the best that I can do. Now, when you draw and you want to be precise, not create like oblique curves, you can hold Shift. So if you hold Shift key of your keyboard and continue to draw, you're going to create vertical and horizontal lines. This is also called orthogonal or ortho in AutoCAD or similar CAD application. Now, if you want to go back because you've made some mistake, just hit the backspace key. So I'm just going back where I left here, and I went the wrong way. So I can continue to place the other points. Now, I am not gonna go through all the walls here of the apartment. I'm just gonna do one single wall just to show you how it can be done. So you can do that yourself if you want. And of course, again, this is just an approximation, but it's quick, and this is what I want. So I just hold Shift to make straight lines, and that's it. But the rest, it's approximated, and I'm fine with it because, again, if I need to do a simple rendering, I don't need to be so precise. So always, it depends on what you need to do. If your need here is just to create a render, don't worry about that. If you need to do some prototyping, I think that Maya is not the best choice for this. I think you should move to AutoCAD or Illustrator. Okay, you can see there is a little gap there, so this is where we can go back to the editing tools and we can close it up like that. So this is gonna be a closed curve or a closed shape, and this will be useful to create a nice solid, a nice polysurface in 3D later. Okay, now I can do the rest of the walls. I can also model here the living room, furnishing. I can do that for every single drawing inside my project, but this is just an example. I'm gonna leave it right there. And well, let's move here, and I also suggest SketchUp if you want to do something in architecture real quick. So in 3D, SketchUp it's pretty fast, and you can check the video course in our channel as well. Okay, so this is the part concerning architecture. For the graphic design, again, once you have imported from Illustrator, you can import a raster image as well. You can import vector graphics.